Oh yes. Right, so let me explain about the purple powder. You'll see me giving people the purple powder on my videos. I came across this purple powder 2.5 years ago, and when I first came across it, I felt so wonderful on it. My first teaspoonful, I rang up the lady that gave it me and said, Robin, what's in it? She says, it's just purple rice. I said, no, Robin, it's Jeanette speaking to. What's in it? She says, it is, it's just purple rice. I'm like, I've eaten rice my whole life. Rice can't make you feel this good. I feel amazing every day of my life. For the last 2 or 3/4 years, I felt happy every day. That's not bad, is it? Even if it just makes you feel happy, it's got to be worth buying, isn't it? It gives you energy. It gives you mental clarity. Right, so we're going to work on your hands. Just for the camera, just show us what level of grip you've got.
I can't really clench it, and I've never been able to hold an umbrella or anything. My work means I hold a piece of paper to do an order on, but I can't use a clipboard because it's solid.
Can't do the clip.
And I can't hold it, so I just have a loose piece of paper,
Right,
which
okay.
is easier.
Right.
But they're swollen, I can't get my other rings on, and especially around the thumbs, that's not quite so bad, but this one is, even when I move it, it's pain inside.
Okay, so rest your hands down. Cool. So what happens is I ask for a healing for Marea, and that healing comes from God. It comes from a higher source, not necessarily a limited God as we find in religious context, but a God that is present everywhere. For God to be omnipresent and omnipotent, God has to be everywhere. And I've worked out that God is in the space, because the only thing that's everywhere is the space. The space is filling this room, it's filling that world out there. The space in the area that I stand, the space in the area that Marianne stands, and the spirits are present as well in this space. So what happens for me, having made a request for healing, and I always ask for the healing in accordance with God's will. There's a whole story for that, which you'll have to read my book to find out about. But I always ask for healing in accordance with God's will. That's so that it's not my ego, so that I'm not going against like a natural flow. And what I consider to be God's will is for the greater good of everybody, and not just the human species. If we tried to do something that was really good just for the humans, we'd destroy this earth. Yeah, probably every other living thing. Yeah? Yeah, so it's got to be for the greater good of everybody. Okay, now Marianne, any sensation happening in your hands? What's happening? Any warmth, any tingling?
Over the top, warmth was something over the top.
Yeah.
That one in particular.
So it's not me doing the healing comes through me. I am very, very present. I have an intention of doing healing, and then I just leave it to the beings that work with me. 17 different beings. Now just try moving that right hand again, and just try doing that gripping motion. How's it feeling compared to how it felt before?
It doesn't feel so fat.
Yeah?
The finger's so fat.
Okay, and as what we have it, we have got a piece of paper here. Just see how it feels holding a piece of paper.
Holding the piece of paper is fine.
Yeah.
But it's when it's solid, there's no give in it. That's when I have the problem with like an umbrella or a solid
Okay.
bit of wood or
It might be too thick. You might need something smaller than that to test it.
your book.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I start to have a problem, but that is, but it gets, holding it like that, but the thumb, it gets
cool.
in that
So
area there.
you keep holding that and make that hurt like that, and I'll take that away. How's that? It's not bad for a deal, is it? All right. So what is pain? Pain is nothing more than trapped energy. You're made of energy. What happens within you? We'll just rest that down for a minute. That's it. Cool. Just rest. That's it. I'll just go that way around. So what happens is, inside this system, there are thoughts in your head and there's feelings in your body. And what happens is you have a thought in your head, that triggers a chemical response in your body. Two kinds of chemicals. Some feel good, some don't feel good. So endorphins, serotonin feel good. We eat chocolate, we feel good, don't we? It's chemicals in the brain. Cortisol or adrenaline might not feel good. You know, if I'm at a fun fair and I've got adrenaline, it's like, yahoo! But if I'm going for my driving test, I don't want to feel adrenaline. But it's the same chemical, I'm just getting a different reaction in my body to it. And these chemicals can get stuck in our cells. And different tissues in our body process different feelings. With the hands, fingers and toes is attention to detail. If you're worried about details, it's your finger, the stuff will get stuck in your fingers and your toes. If it's your hands, it's handling life. It's handling life. And you might be a bit of a worrier.
I try and be organised.
That's a good way to be organised to prevent the worry. Worries of the head, carings of the heart. If ever I find myself worrying about something, I'll find I'm in my head, drop my awareness into the heart, I care about this, and then I'll take some action to make sure what I'm worried about doesn't happen. But it's a very different energy. So if you want to stop yourself worrying, just move from your head to your heart. And incidentally, just before this session, I was doing a healing on another gentleman, and in the background somebody was talking, and they said the word warrior. There's not a lot of difference between warrior and warrior, is there? Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Warrior as in
you know, you could be a spiritual warrior, as opposed to a warrior in your mind. Yeah. But a warrior's got their body, their consciousness in the whole of their body, whereas a warrior's just in their head. Right, let's give it another go. See how we're doing. Oh God, she said.
wow.
What a treat.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Nobody need worry about getting old. Yeah?
Wow.
How much are we going to improve our quality of life when we join the dots and realise that this is just energy? Yeah. Now, some people have been watching me on Facebook for a while, and they reckon that when I give you the purple powder, it's got a painkiller in it.
No.
It doesn't have enough time to. In fact, that's not a painkiller.
Doesn't work that quick.
It doesn't. And if it did, it would be the best-selling painkiller on the market. It's not. All it is purple rice. And why does it work so well? Firstly, it's micronized. Most vitamins and minerals that we take in actually come out of our system. They don't actually go into our cells. How do we know this? Well, somebody opened some portaloos at a rock concert somewhere, and in there they found all the tablets still with the name Bayer on them. They were passing through the system. For anything to get into your cells, it's got to be super, super fine. It's got to be alpha particle sized, and this rice is alpha particle. So when you take a teaspoonful of this powder, it's like you're eating a pound of very nutritious purple rice. If you were to eat a pound of nutritious purple rice, most of it would pass through the gut, wouldn't it, and pass out. We've got 99% absorption. So this is really good use of the Earth's resources in terms of what goes into your body. And what happens within your body is when you get past 40, there isn't as much life force in your system. And so when you eat your food, that creates a certain amount of energy. The energy is called 18p adenosine triphosphate. And that energy is used for breathing, brain function, respiration, blood circulation, movement. The last thing that happens is your cell repair and your cell regeneration. Yeah. And so when you start taking this product, what you'll find is you've got 50% more ATP. Your hair grows like crazy. I kid you not. I don't think I've got any photographs since I was 5 with hair this long. My nails grow. I'm having to cut them every 2 weeks. It's like, and my skin. Have a good look at me when you see me up close. I'm 55, and I can show you a picture from 5 years ago, and I look younger than 5 years ago.
And that's all you take?
I take 2 teaspoons a day. Now, I actually distribute the product now because it's so amazing. I'm seeing a lot of people get well. And when I do this healing, it's partly the rice. Because the rice is going into the cells at the cellular level. It works quite fast. But then, if we were to just put you on the rice, you wouldn't get that result straight away. It might take a couple of months. Because the rice, your body's wisdom is going to direct it where it wants to go first. And it might be a while before it works its way to your hands. When I work, I'm directing spiritual energy to the hands. And very often my guides will say, right, more rice, and somebody's got to get more rice. That then produces the energy at the cellular level that your cells can actually do what they need to do. No side effects, and cheaper than pharmaceutical drugs.
That one's still a little bit tight.
I've got to go around that side. That side's next.
Good on you.
Right. So these spirit world doctors, in the main, they were doctors themselves on a physical level. Some are saints. Oh, there's some heat coming out your hand at the moment. Have you noticed that?
Your hand feels quite cool.
It will do, because your hand's got, there's heat coming out of the hand. And that's, if you like, is the arthritis coming out. I'm just going to get somebody from the front. Would you mind just come forward and just feel my fingers and feel, no, sorry, on this hand. Just feel her hand and feel, feel the heat coming out.
Oh, yes.
And then feel the coldness of my hand.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So the guides are using coldness to remedy the heat. Yeah, as a balance. I did have one chap come to me with terrible arthritis in his hands. And as we did the session, he said, will I be able to play the piano again? And I assured him, yes. When I fix your hands, you will be able to play the piano. He says, well, that'll be a bloody miracle, because I can't play it now. I got caught with that one, didn't I?
Oh, good on them.
Yeah. You've got to have a sense of humour, eh? Now, what's happening in there? What can you feel happening?
Your hand is losing its coldness.
It is, and your hand is becoming less hot. So what's happening is that the two energies are balancing out. Now, I can do this for long hours. I can work 8 hours a day, work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. It won't take anything from me. If you see me at the end of the session, I should look more alive than I did at the start. And if you see me at an evening show, I look at myself in the mirror and I look younger at the end of the show. And the reason for that is the spirits that work through me are good spirits. They're good spirits. They're of a higher vibrational rate and are lighter, literally lighter than I am. And so when they're in me, I look amazing. And then when they leave, it's like this deflated balloon. But the rice has helped me maintain a vibrational frequency that I can tolerate in my body longer. Well, give that a go. Just have a little. Oh, yeah, much better. Isn't this exciting? You're welcome. We can have a hug now. Oh, definitely.